Have you ever heard about the acronym PTSD? I guess many of us are living it without knowing its name. PTSD is an acronym that stands for Post Traumatic Stress Disorder. Post means it's something that happens later after the experience. Traumatic is always related to something that has anxiety and stress. And when we say stress, it's of course something that is more than just burnout. It's more like, something that has got physical symptoms. And when we say disorder, it's something that you can acknowledge that it has got symptoms and you can see it. How is this related to us? Post traumatic stress disorder is another way to talk about post toxic job syndrome. People do not wake up and say, I am traumatized. But there are other signs that can be emotional, can be physical, and they can even be behavioral. If we talk about emotional, it's that moment when you feel like you are heavy, you are stressed, you don't want to go to that workplace. And also you feel abused, you feel bullied, you feel that there is an abuse of power, and all of this makes you feel like you don't feel comfortable in that place. And as a result, this will show up in your behavior, and this will show that you are living in what we call a survival mode, which means the flight, fight, freeze. What does that mean? By fight, we mean in that workplace, you are always trying to prove yourself. You are over explaining. Everything is done over. And this is a kind of defense. You're defending yourself. The second F, which is flight, it means when you are withdrawing, when you try to be isolated in terms of, social connection. You don't want to talk. And freeze is that moment as it is you become frozen. It means you think that when you say something it will make it worse, so you don't want to show any sign. This is a behavioral symptom that shows that you are living under stress and pressure. Physical symptoms, you can see it in insomnia, you cannot sleep well, and most importantly on what we call panic attacks. In French we use the word les attaques d'angoisse, and it's very it's really hard to go through this situation. It's when you feel afraid and fear, and you might be even trembling without any trigger. Now, the reason behind this could be the circumstances that you cannot control. Either it's a toxic environment, or mostly it's a place where you feel threatened, and this threat is about your job. Like you feel what we call job insecurity. And all of us know how important a job is for us. It's our sense of purpose. And when even someone, it's part of our identity. Like when someone tells you, please introduce yourself, of course you will say your name, but also you will say your job. So imagine that you are in a workplace or in an environment that is threatening that sense of purpose. It is very important now to acknowledge that you are living this situation or you are traumatized, and that's the moment you take the action to heal. And healing is not easy. First of all, you cannot heal under or in such toxic environment. So the first step you have to do is to leave that toxic environment and find a place where you can find safety, and where you can feel it's like a comfort zone. You have got your trust rebuilt and you feel mostly safe. Now you change your workplace and you go to another place and you find yourself in a place where you can find yourself living in safety, in harmony. You find trust from everyone. You start rebuilding yourself. And now is the big question: what if another opportunity shows up? Another opportunity that can either lead to professional growth or to financial better opportunity. Will you go for it? Will you move? Or will you stay back and just keep asking yourself whether those scars will come back again, whether that toxicity you have gone through will be repeated? Here you are going to ask yourself, shall I take a decision based on anxiety, fear of what is coming, or because I am confident and I know how to deal with toxic environment for the moment. So healing here is like a bridge. It's a bridge because it will take you from that environment where you feel it's healthy now and you have your well-being to another environment where you will learn how to deal with toxic environment. And this will happen only when you realize that toxic environment or toxic managers or all of those things are at the end of the day circumstances that are not under our control. However, what is under our control is the stories our brain tell us about those places. The moment you realize that your feelings are connected with your thoughts and not the place where you are, you will learn how to make your actions better, how to think properly. Because let's admit something, many places that are, let's say, you think of as toxic might be considered heaven for another person who is living with the same people, with the same management, and with the same students, let's say. Why is it toxic for you? And why is it a heaven for him or a land of opportunity? This is because of the way we think. So, the moment you acknowledge your fears, the moment you learn how to control them, how to control your thoughts, is the moment you can move on, and that's the moment of healing.